Hello and welcome to the video! Resident Evil 4. So as you know, since the release of Resident Evil 4 Remake on the PlayStation, we've all eagerly been anticipating the release of a VR mode similar to the one that was released for Resident Evil Village for Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's one that I've been watching with eagle eyes and waiting with my trigger finger. So yesterday's PlayStation State of Play did release a little bit more information about Resident Evil 4. So I thought I'd hop on here and share it with you all. So first off, a little bit more of an in-depth look at what VR mode is going to look like for Resident Evil 4 on the PlayStation VR 2. Here's what we saw in the State of Play.
Think you can swallow me whole, huh?
Now, how good does that look? That looks absolutely fantastic. So, if you have played the Resident Evil 4 Remake on the PlayStation 5 or any other console, then you'll know just how scary, terrifying, and how difficult the game is compared to the original Resident Evil 4 way back when, I think in 2004. They did keep the majority of the game's story the same, a few tweaks here and there to make it, to ground it a little bit more within the remake universe, but the overall game feels the same. You recognize the environments. They are a bit more intertwined than they were previously, but if you've been watching me for a while, then you'll know that I've played the entirety of Resident Evil 4 in VR already on the Oculus Quest 2. So if you want to go over and check that playlist out, I'll leave a link in the description. But by far that is the best way to play Resident Evil 4 is in VR on the Oculus Quest. They did a lot of work to bring that into VR mode. And it wasn't just a simple port. They had to redesign characters, redesign environments and weapon models, and they did a lot of work, and it truly did pay off. It's definitely the best way to play the game. That said, with the original Resident Evil 4 VR that came out on the Oculus Quest 2, they had to make sacrifices in some places, so therefore the graphics weren't the best, but they stood up. They looked exactly the same as Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube or on the Wii or whatever console you think of. The problem I had with, and one of the only problems I had with Resident Evil 4 VR, because the game's fantastic and I think it's probably 9.9 out of 10, was the cutscenes had to be portrayed in like a cinema view, so the screen would go black when there's a cutscene, and then you would be looking at like a cinema screen to see introductions, which wasn't so bad. It was a little bit immersion breaking, but you get it. You got to work with what you got. The other thing was when it came to Leon's famous melee kicks or suplexes that he does on the villagers, it takes you into an almost out of body experience, and then he's choke slamming them on the floor and God knows what else. And that again was a little bit immersion breaking. It looks like we're getting manual reloading, which looks great. It showed you at one point them looking through a sniper rifle scope. Now, the fight with Krauser is something I'm super excited to see, and I think that's going to be absolutely terrifying in VR. Now, in the Quest version that we did on the Resident Evil 4, that was still a quick time event that you would see on console or on Wii, but in VR. So it would kind of play out in front of you, and it would ask you to either press a trigger button or swipe left, swipe right, whatever. You're moving your controller. So you are still involved, but it wasn't fully immersive. That in the showcase, that in the State of Play there, that footage looked to me like we might be able to have a little bit more control. I certainly hope so. But there's a momentous knife fight that I really want to be involved in. I don't just want to press a button. I don't want to just do a simple gesture. I want to be I want to be fighting them. I want to feel like I win Krauser. I don't want to feel like I skipped Krauser. You know what I mean? So it looks great. It looks fantastic. Anyway, we are getting another update. So on the 21st of September, this month, very shortly, maybe in about a week or so, there will be a free update to Resident Evil 4 Remake, and that's going to bring you extra Mercenaries content. I believe it's Ada Wong and Albert Wesker, and possibly more, as well as DLC for Separate Ways. Now, if you haven't played Separate Ways in the past, it's a DLC for Resident Evil 4 in which you play as Ada Wong on the island as she's going through challenges to try and achieve her mission. Now, she is, spoiler alert, working for Albert Wesker, or is she? And she's being sent to track down the parasite and Louis Serra by the looks of it. Now, through Separate Ways, you do have multiple encounters with Leon, as you do vice versa in the Leon campaign, and it's just a great little touch. It reminds me of playing Resident Evil 2 when you could little split one-off missions where you play as Ada or you play as Sherry, and it's really good. I really did enjoy the Resident Evil 4 extra content that you got on the original game with the separate ways, the assignment Ada and the mercenaries, so I'm glad they're slowly releasing those, so I hope we continue to see more. I'm not sure if separate ways is going to be in VR. I think VR mode might just be the main campaign, but wait and see. Here's the video of the separate ways and the mercenaries content.
This is Condor 1. President's daughter, Baby Eagle. It's likely she's in this village.
I'm seeing increased movement from Los Eliminados. Don't get careless.
Copy. Ada out.
What terrible actions will be done in its name, and who will pay its dark cost?
Find Lewis. Fetch me the amber.
Have you changed, Ada? Or are you just trying to use me again?
Because in this world, someone always pays.
There is someone who needs my help.
Best not to ask who or why.
It's what I researched for all these years, Ada. And I see the symptoms already showing in your eyes.
So there you have it. There's the updates on Resident Evil 4 Remake, specifically around the PlayStation VR 2 content, but a little bit more there. Seasoned it with a little bit of extra DLC, so hope you're interested in that. Hope you enjoyed the video. What are you looking forward to the most about the remake and the updates? Are you going to be playing separate ways? Are you just going to hold out and wait for the VR mode? Have you even played Resident Evil 4 Remake yet? Let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the next one.